you could say we're at DEFCON 2 now, so to speak. We kind of over training camp, preseason games, we kind of joked about it, but now it's a reality. With Justin Reid, what would you say is his comfort if you had to use him for a field goal kicker?
Yeah, that's a good question. I probably the max I was going to tell. I told Andy during the game if we had to keep going with him. I thought if we got the ball at the 25-yard line, would be good with him. Which would be what is it, a 43-yarder or so? Yeah.
Would that be cold, or is this something like if you gave him the proper preparation to prepare for something, his maximum range would be in the 40s?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's as far back as I would want to take him. That's why there was no thought in him hitting that long one. If we didn't have Butker at that time, if we didn't think we had Butker, we probably just would have went for it right there. So, I think that was a little bit too far out of his range right there, realistically.
Let's go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Dave. You got to explain to me how with Harrison Butker hit that 54-yard field goal at the end of the first half. Yeah. Just how difficult was that for him to pull that off?
Yeah, it's very rare. I mean, you don't usually do one step 54-yarders. You warm up and you start a practice or you warm up at a game. You do one steppers just to begin the game and to start your warm up and that's really all you do. You don't really try to kick a long field goal from there, but it just shows you how strong his leg is, though. That's really what it does.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Coach, I know a big thing is not to compare players, but Justin Tucker is sort of looked at as the standard. Do you feel like Harrison, as his career goes on, has that top kicker in the league upside?
Yes, he's right there neck and neck with him, in my opinion. But I'm a little biased, but his work ethic and everything about James, I'm sorry, everything about Butker. It's been a long night. Sorry, guys. Everything about Butker is first rate. So I'd put him right up in there with he's 1 and 2 right there. Those two for sure.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, just around the league, there was 9 or 10 missed field goals yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You weren't watching all those games, obviously, but it's just something about maybe opening week jitters, just circumstances. You guys had a missed PAT because you had a safety kicking. That's kind of excusable.
Yeah, we have a built-in excuse, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you had one. It was kind of bad weather in Chicago, a lot of rain and stuff. But is it going to be harder this year, or is it just maybe one of those? It's week one. There's going to be a lot of.
Yeah, I think it's just a week one thing. I think it's first game jitters, whatever you want to call it. Real game jitters. Guys will settle down now. I think if you go back and you look at past first games, you'll see the same thing. But it just kind of was a little unusual. My wife even told me when I called her after the game. She said, "You should have seen all the missed field goals." So, I think it was just a one-time deal, one-game deal.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Kind of like that, Coach. You talk about the week one deals, and obviously you had the instance with Harrison going down and Cincinnati losing their long snapper during a game, influencing that game as well. You guys have obviously always tested out backups and position players at those positions, but does this a week like this just reinforce that? And and once again, your long snapper, is it still Travis Kelce?
Yeah, it is still Travis Kelce, and that's why you do that stuff. So you don't flinch. When something goes wrong, you throw a guy in and you expect him to play at a high level. And he did such a good job for us jumping in there. He was definitely our special teams player of the week.
Let's go next to Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Dave, I just wonder if you could put into perspective, these guys are specialists for a reason. They call it specialist. But for a safety to step in there and kick the touchbacks he did, I saw some reaction to it online, the power of that leg. Can you just put into perspective what Justin was able to do yesterday on those kickoffs?
It's just something you don't normally see. That's why, but he's got talent. He played soccer when he was younger, so he understands, the motion of it and where the ball is supposed to be placed on his foot. being a football player, growing up, I'm sure he, as a soccer player and a football player, he started kicking a football at a young age, and he has talent. And we heard that, when we first got him, but then, we got out there and he kept, bugging me about hitting him and wanted to hit him in practice. And then when I watched him, I was like, wow, I mean, this guy's he does have a lot of talent. So, I mean, it's real, it's real. And he did it. I mean, it's unbelievable, but it's impressive as well.
And we'll go last to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
And Coach, I'll have a follow-up. First of all, Tommy Townsend and trying to pin guys deep, is that, I know he had an opportunity there and wasn't able to really cash the way you'd like. And I know it's kind of tough coming in right behind Dustin Colquitt, who was, maybe one of the best. And we've talked before about how, Tommy's maybe more distance and Dustin was more accuracy, but where do you think he is on that progression to try to pin him down?
He's getting better, but that punt right there, that was kind of like that gray area punt. It was kind of a backed up. It wasn't really a pooch area punt, where you're totally thinking about kicking a rugby style kick. So he kicked a normal kick. He really bombed it. It came off his foot, too strong. So you're not really trying to place it there. He's trying to gain distance. It got away from him. He's got a strong leg too. So he's got to learn how to control it. I think he could do that a little bit better, but that was that area where you kind of still want him to kick away. You know what I mean?
And then for a follow-up, when you see it, I know you said it's not normal to go out there and do it's part of the warm-up, the one-step kicks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see him do a 54-yarder, and
I never seen him do a one-step 54-yarder. I never seen that. I've seen him hit 30 yarders just to warm up, and then after that he goes right into his normal steps.
But when you see that, does it almost? I mean, it shortens everything. It makes it.
You
almost go.
I see where you're going.
Let's make this the norm.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it, but I don't think that would be normal for him. Just because he would feel like he was losing so much power, and he's such a power guy. Power is important to him, and it's important to us. And you don't want to have too many different techniques, but I see what you're saying. Like a one step might be better, more consistent than a 3-step. So, but there is something to be said about how he was able to adjust, and it says something about his professionalism for sure.
Coach Toub, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, take care, guys.
Thank you.